She was already in her wedding dress when her phone buzzed. Not a reminder, not a vendor, not her maid of honor panicking about centerpieces. An unknown number. Maya Chen, 24 years old, daughter of the late Raymond Chen, one of the most respected architects in San Francisco, stood in the middle of her hotel suite surrounded by white roses, champagne flutes, and a dress that cost more than her first apartment. In 48 hours, she was supposed to walk down the aisle and become Mrs. Ethan Wells. Ethan Wells, smooth-talking, sharp-dressed. The kind of man who remembered how you took your coffee and made you feel like the only person in any room he ever walked into. Maya almost ignored the buzz. She almost set the phone back down on the vanity and kept adjusting her veil. Almost. But something made her pick it up. That's some quiet pull she couldn't explain. The kind your body feels before your brain catches up, she answered. Hello? Nothing at first. Just static and what sounded like wind. Then a man's voice came through, deep, measured, the kind of voice that didn't waste words. Is this Maya Chen? She stiffened slightly. It is. Who's calling? A pause, short but heavy. My name is James Kang, and I think you are about to make a very serious mistake. Maya almost laughed. She actually pulled the phone from her ear and looked at it like it had said something offensive. Excuse me? Ethan Wells, the man said flatly. You're marrying him in 2 days. Her stomach dropped an inch. How do you know that? Because, James Kang said quietly, 6 months ago, he borrowed $400,000 from me. And he has not returned a single cent. The champagne glass in Maya's other hand suddenly felt very heavy. I think you have the wrong person, she said carefully. Maya Chen, Chen Architecture Trust, fiancé of Ethan Wells. Hotel suite at the Grand Pacific, San Francisco. Another pause. I do not have the wrong person. She set the champagne down. What exactly are you saying to me? The answer was calm, almost gentle, which somehow made it worse. I am saying that the man you are about to marry has been borrowing money from people like me for 3 years. And the moment he gains access to your inheritance trust, every debt he owes disappears, including mine. The room felt like it tilted. Maya sat down slowly on the edge of the bed, white dress and all. That's a serious accusation, she said, keeping her voice even. And her father had always told her. Never let them see you shake. Yes, James Kang agreed, which is why I did not make it lightly. Why are you telling me this? Why not just go after him? A brief silence. Because going after him damages everyone around him, including you. Another pause. And you have done nothing wrong. Maya closed her eyes. She wanted to dismiss this entirely. Call it a jealous rival, a bitter enemy, a crazy person who dialed the wrong heiress. But the number, the details, the hotel suite, nobody guesses all of that. Send me proof, she said quietly. Her phone vibrated 30 seconds later. She opened the message. Documents, bank transfers, Ethan's signature, loan agreements going back 36 months. Names of lenders, some of them she recognized from San Francisco business circles. All of them owed money. None of them paid. And at the bottom of the chain, a single screenshot. Ethan. In what looked like a restaurant, smiling across a table at an older man in a suit, the caption beneath it typed plainly, meeting with Raymond Chen's estate attorney, scheduled 3 weeks after proposing to Maya. 3 weeks after proposing to her. He had met with her father's estate attorney before the engagement ring had even been sized. Maya stared at that screenshot for a long time. She didn't cry. She sat very still and she breathed, and she looked at the truth the way her father had taught her to look at hard things, straight on, without flinching, until you understood it fully. How much does he owe total? She finally asked. Across everyone I know of, James Kang said. Close to 2 million. She exhaled slowly. And my inheritance trust, she said, is worth considerably more than that, he finished. Maya stood up, walked to the window, looked out at the city her father had helped build, literally in some places, his buildings visible on the skyline. "Mr. Kang," she said. "Yes. Why did you call me instead of just walking away?" The longest pause yet. Then, simply, "Because your father was an honest man. I knew him briefly. Not well, but enough." A beat. He deserved better than having his daughter walked into a trap. Something tightened in Maya's chest that had nothing to do with Ethan Wells. She thanked him. She hung up. And then Maya Chen did not spiral. She did not call her best friend sobbing. She did not throw anything across the room. She opened her laptop. And she got to work. Her father's attorneys were thorough. Armed by midnight, they had confirmed everything. And found more. Ethan's business was a facade stitched together with borrowed money and charm. He had targeted her specifically, inserted himself into her social circle 18 months before they ever met by chance at a gallery opening. The gallery opening he had paid to attend after researching her schedule. Nothing had been accidental. Not one moment of it. The wedding went ahead as planned. Guests arrived in their finest. The venue was stunning. Orchids, candlelight, 400 people who loved Maya or wanted to be seen near her fortune. Ethan stood at the altar looking like every woman's dream, confident, emotional, ready. Maya walked down the aisle, slowly, beautifully. Every camera in the room turned toward her. She reached the altar. She looked at him. He smiled. That warm, practiced smile. "You look incredible," he whispered. She smiled back. And then, just as the officiant opened his mouth, Maya turned to face the room. "I need a moment," she said pleasantly, like she was simply adjusting a strap. She reached into the small bouquet her maid of honor held and removed a folded envelope. Then she turned back to Ethan and held it out. "What is this?" he asked quietly. "A full accounting," Maya said, "of every loan you've taken out in the last 3 years. Every person you owe, every meeting you had with my father's attorneys before we were even officially engaged." The colour left his face so fast it was almost fascinating to watch. "Ariana," he started. "Maya," she corrected, perfectly calm. The room had gone absolutely still. "I also took the liberty," she continued. Her voice clear enough for the front 10 rows to hear, "of settling your debts this morning. All of them. Every lender, every amount. Paid in full." She let that land. "Consider it a wedding gift." Ethan stared at her, confused, desperate. "From the Chen family trust," she added, "which, as of this morning, has also been restructured so that no future spouse holds any claim to its assets without a full board vote." A murmur rolled through the crowd like a wave. Ethan reached for her hand. "Maya, please, just let me explain." She stepped back. One clean step. "I hope you find whatever it is you're actually looking for," she said quietly, "but it was never me." And Maya Chen picked up her dress, nodded once to her maid of honor, and walked back up the aisle. Not with tears, not with rage. With the calm certainty of a woman who had looked the truth dead in the eye and refused to look away. The headlines came fast. Within days, Ethan Wells was a cautionary tale. Investigations opened. Lenders came forward. His carefully constructed life unraveled in public, thread by thread. And Maya? She took a 2-week trip to Japan. Alone. Ate good food. Walked through quiet temples. Breathed. She never spoke publicly about James Kang. Never released his name. Never mentioned the phone call that changed everything. But 3 months later, a donation arrived at the Raymond Chen Architecture Foundation. Anonymous, substantial, with a single handwritten note inside. "Your father would be proud." Sometimes the people who save you never ask for credit, and sometimes the wrong number is exactly the right call. If this story hit different, drop a comment below and subscribe, because the next one is even more unbelievable than this.